Hey friends, Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening at Home with Cherie. Well, in today's video, we are going to show part one of me setting up my garden for the 2026 garden season. You can see here, I already, got containers ready. I planted out some leeks. I am just refreshing the mulch as well as I go through the garden. All of the garden space here is above ground raised bed and container gardening. And so, yeah, I have already planted, like I said, some leeks. I put out some peppers. This is early May. We had a warm spring, a very early frost. My last recorded frost in my garden was in April. And so, yeah, figured I'd get a jump start on my plantings. And I transplanted some ginger mint from my lower garden. Yeah, I just wanted to get things going early. I have a lot going on starting June 1st. And so I'm trying to have most of my garden spaces planted by then. So as I said, I got some leeks out in this one bed. I've already put tomato transplants out, just a couple. And then here I'm just preparing containers for various potatoes. I did a video where I shared the 13 varieties of potatoes that I would be starting. And so I'm getting them sown during the process of making this video as well. Just the first batch. I bought lots of potatoes, and I will link to that video in case you missed it. But I'm trying for the first time to grow a lot of potatoes. And then, yeah, I'm just going through getting the garden cleaned up rather. I'm going to be redoing a lot of the spaces. Well, especially in here, I decided to change things around a little bit. And again, I have black landscaping fabric at the base of this garden. That's how I set it up. My very first garden here in 2020. I have mulch, and there's just there are things that pop up, and the mulch breaks down over time. So I decided to also just do a refresh in the area as well, since for the first time I'm trying to grow out in this entire hillside garden space. I should say this is what I consider my backup garden. My main garden sits in full sun, is on the other side of the house. So I'm going to keep container potatoes up here. And so here I'm just mixing in, I think this was the Dr. Earth, vegetable slow release granular fertilizer. And I'm just sticking one potato in the center, making sure I put my labels on so I know what potato is in which bin. And then, yeah, I got all those planted. And then a few days later, I came up and I continued on with the next phase of the project. Well, I'm making a change here in my hillside garden. I've decided to part ways with these 50-gallon grow bags. I placed these here when I first started gardening here at this home in 2020. And I've grown all kinds of things in here. But I want to replace these 3 50-gallon grow bags that are in the space here with green stalks. I definitely can fit 3. I might even put 5. I'm not sure. I have 2 of these brown ones in the greenhouse behind me. So I might just do like a row of 5. We'll see how the spacing goes. But for now, I'm just taking the soil out of these 50-gallon grow bags and putting them into the green stalks. I'm going to be very interested to see how much more food I can grow and harvest in this space in the green stalks versus the grow bags. Originally, the first year when I put these here, I had corn in the center, squash. I basically did a Three Sisters garden in these grow bags. So I had corn, squash, and beans. And things grew pretty well. But the raccoons got to the corn in the end. And yeah, with things low to the ground, there's always a lot of digging in these bags. So I'm gonna put the green stalks in and we'll see what a difference growing in the green stalks. Of course, I'm not gonna grow corn, but I will be putting some beans. I probably won't put squash, though I have grown squash in the green stalk before. But I'm probably gonna definitely gonna do beans, and I'm not sure what else. So I'm gonna get this transferred so that I can get the area underneath of it cleaned, recovered with mulch, etc. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like with the green stalks in place and to let you know what I decided to put in the green stalks. All right, so I got one of the grow bags emptied. You can see it's been here for 6 years. And, you know, I have this weed that it always grows. I kind of leave it early in the season because the bees like the flowers. But I'm just going to pull that out. I'm going to spread some of this mulch down to level it, and then I will put some more mulch over the whole area so that it's level. But anyway, just wanted to show you that that one bag, which wasn't filled to the top, filled 6 of the tiers of the green stalks. And so these are three tiers that I bought with the basket weave. I have 2, I think there's 7 tiers in the greenhouse. I'm gonna fill up the last 2. I think it's 3 more tiers. Yeah, because that's 6. So I have 3 more tiers to fill up from here. And then I'm just gonna transfer the rest of this into some pots that I have some pots that are half filled. And then I just have some empty pots just to get all the soil out of the way, so I can get this part of the garden complete. So I'll be back again after I get the green stalks in position. All right, y'all, so I got those green stalks set up. I decided to just do the three tier ones here, and I'm still gonna pull the 2 out of the greenhouse, but I'm gonna put them in a different location, just so I can have space to walk around them. I don't have bases for these to spin them, so they're just kind of in the mulch. So I've already started sowing some seeds, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of the pockets sown. These are the ones with the deeper pockets. And so, yeah, I can grow all kinds of stuff in these. So let me get finished getting these seeds sown, and then I'm gonna plant out the rest of the half of this side of the garden as well, get it mulched, and then we'll do a scan to show you what I accomplished. Let's check over here. Love that. Actually, even over there, I almost missed those. So, progress. Okay, friends, I'm up here. I'm gonna record a quick update to share with you all on these green stalks that we planted out. We have some germination starting. This garden, again, I don't know if it's the soil or what. I feel like the soil may have gotten contaminated or just some seeds. I don't know, but I'm getting a lot of this little weed growing, and I wanted to reuse that soil, but it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna keep scraping them out because of what I'm growing in here. Eventually they'll take over. But anyway, we can see that the beans are starting to germinate, so it's warming up a bit. I'm gonna keep an eye on all of these. Oh, so this is what I need to keep an eye on. Squirrel, there's a squirrel that keeps getting in here, and you know, the squirrels are not the most intelligent. They be forgetting where they put their food and just be digging like maniacs. But I'm gonna reinforce. I have one fence area that I've been leaving open as I've been working up here, and so I got to get that reset, put that on the honey-do list. And then I might have to go ahead and cover these until things are germinating and growing well enough, because, you know, they're not trying to eat the bean seeds. They're just scratching and digging and disrupting my plants. They end up breaking them off. And so, yeah, I have some covers for these kinds of beds that I'm finally going to use. They just dig. They're so annoying. Throwing dirt on top of my potatoes and my oregano. But I went through my shed where I keep my garden supplies, and I mean, I have so much stuff in there that I'm not putting to use. And so again, I have not planted this much in this garden this early in the season, and I'm doing different kinds of things. So I'm doing a lot more direct seed sowing versus the transplanting, and so they're just disruptive. Even here you can see some of my beans are starting to come up, but look, they've like knocked them out. So I'm gonna get this situated and get it covered, and get it watered and then get it covered. But anyway, just wanted to check in to share that, you know, things are slowly but surely starting to, some of the things, if they disrupt that, say, they're so annoying. I might have to, that's the other thing, I'll have to check and see where ones where it looked like they may have snapped with their digging, they may have snapped the plant. I can immediately sow some more seeds. But not all the varieties, but some of the varieties are starting to germinate. Let's see what that is. That's the Calvin Wonder peas. So, yeah, peas and beans. The pepper transplants are getting taller too. So, but I only have 3 of those. The rest are peas and beans. So we'll keep checking, monitoring the progress, and updating you. Okay, friends, let's wrap up the video for this half of the garden. I actually almost forgot to cap this video off because I'm working on lots of projects at the same time. But we will conclude with just a little scan of what has occurred over the course of about 2 weeks since I started cleaning this up. I'm trying to have all my gardens planted by the first week in June. So I'm excited to have this much done this early in May. As I said, this is the first year that I'm using so much of my garden space. So it's a lot to do, a lot of seeds started, but I think it's gonna be totally worth it. So already in this small portion of the garden, we have 13 varieties of potatoes, we have leeks, we have tomatoes, we have probably about 30 varieties of beans. I've already planted squash and cucumbers and watermelons. I got my backups ready. We have some leafy greens growing. We have strawberries, we have ginger mint. We have orange mint, oregano, all kinds of herbs, fennel. We have started some sunflower seeds. We've started some beets. We've started some carrots. We have basil. We have more oregano. We have some cabbages. We have peppers, sages, parsley, all kinds of herbs, as I said. And then the green stalks are filled with various peas and beans that are included in those 30 varieties, a few peppers. And then over here in these 4 raised beds, which were here on the property when we bought it in 2019, kickstarted my garden in 2020 as the main garden was being built. I usually use this, well, in the first 2 years, I think I used it pretty exclusively for like leafy greens and carrots. And then the year before last, I started putting peppers in here, all kinds of other things. Every year I do something different. So all 4 of these have a mixture of various marigolds, various herbs, some beans, and peppers. and leafy greens, so different kinds of kales as well. So each of these 4 containers has different stuff in it. I think the peppers are all the same, and I think I used the same marigolds, but then the beans and the herbs and stuff are all different. And so I love diversity in the garden, and I am moving forward. I got to do the back half of this garden in the greenhouse, and yeah, we'll be back to share more soon. This here is also planted, but this is be a part of the second half, but may have all kinds of goodness going on up here too. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you back here for probably part 2, 3, and 4 of me setting up my gardens in May. Take good care. Bye.
Just close your eyes and let them rest. I know it's hard to fall asleep, but do your best. 'Cause there's a place that I go to when I want to hide from all the shades of blue. 'Cause at times I think of leaving, my mind takes me back to fall, when the snow begins to sing goodnight to warm